So, you're here to hear what I have to say about Gran Turismo 7. First of all, I want to talk about GT6. Now, GT6 is a game I decided not to buy because I personally felt that it has not advanced enough from GT5. Now, when you do have GT5, which I do have, as you can see, you don't really feel the need to get GT6. And the only real reason I feel to get GT6 is because of the cars, especially the Vision cars. Now, that is indeed a selling point and it is bumping up the value of the game, but it's not necessary. I'm looking forward to GT7 and that's it. Now, if GT6 was to come onto the PS4 as a port, I still wouldn't buy it. Now, the reason why they decided not to put GT6 onto PS4 as a launch title is because of two reasons mainly, and that is the install base and Drive Club. They held GT6 from the PS4 because of Drive Club. And Drive Club, that's a game that's had many delays. I don't even know if it's got a confirmed release date right now, at this very moment in time. What else is there? It's also a game that's lost a lot of hype. And if you ask me, GT6 as a launch title would have just been a better direction to take. I would definitely have a PS4 right now if GT6 was on PS4 as a launch title. I'm not buying it as a port. So let's talk about GT7. And here's my list of things I want to see in GT7. Okay, so first of all is a varied selection of cars. Now, Gran Turismo is that franchise you know you can go to for thousands of cars, hundreds of cars, 1,000 and a few hundred. But what Gran Turismo loves to do is, let's say for example we have the R34 Skyline. They will put in the R34 Skyline Standard Edition, then the R34 NER, then the R34 GTR, then the R34 V-Spec, and then the R34, no, the Mines R34. Basically, if I put 5 apples on the table, yes, they're 5 different apples, but they are still apples. So what I'm trying to say is polyphony, digital, how do you say name? Polyphony, digital. If you have to go over the world, around the world, to pick cherries from different countries to make the car selection in this game, that's the way it should be done. Please do that. Go to Japan for the tuners, America for the muscles, and Europe for the extravagant coupes. And I know they already do that, but what I want to see is less of the recycling, basically. Less of the recycling. Next up is customizable B-Spec mode. Now, B-Spec mode is something I like to watch just to see how the driver does on the track, if I can learn from it, how they handle the heat, how they overtake, stuff like that basically. And also, of course, it is a way to gain money without playing the game. Now what I want to see is a customizable B-Spec mode. And this, by this I mean being able to pick your track, pick your laps, but also pick your opponent's cars and possibly their difficulty levels. Wouldn't that be interesting? I think it would add depth to the game. And on that note, why not have a customizable A-Spec mode as well? That would be amazing. Being able to pick your car, track, laps, and each of your opponent's cars, just to see how you do against them. For example, you may want to pick an opponent who has a faster car than you, and the rest could have slower cars. Basically, just putting a level, putting leverage over who you want, and just seeing how you do. That would honestly add diversity to the gameplay. And obviously that would have to be in arcade mode, but it will still be fun and, you know, a place you could practice, learn things, etc, etc. Next up is the X2015 car. And this car on the front of GT5 is the X2011. It is a fictional car developed by Polyphony and Red Bull. It is a technological and design masterpiece. If you haven't driven it yet, it will blow you away. Now, on GT7, in GT7, what I want to see is the equivalent of that, the X2015 or whatever year it comes out in. So yeah, amazing car. Next is multiple car purchase. In GT5, it pisses me off just to think about it. In GT5, when you bought a new car from the... Wait, is it just the new car dealership or is it the used one as well? I believe it's both. You will be greeted with this flippant animation where the car drives up to the screen, says this is your new car, it's in this color, you've got this new paint chip, and it will also ask you, do you want to drive this car now? Please remove this animation. Sure, it's nice to see it the first time, second time, maybe up to 10 times. It's nice to see what new car you bought, but every damn time you buy a car in this game, which you will be doing a lot of in these types of game, buying cars, it is flipping annoying. It's not even skippable. Give us the option to remove the animation or to skip it. One of the two, please. As I said, multiple car purchase. Seeing that every time, yes, you're going to have to remove the animation if you're going to let us buy multiple cars at one time. Next in the list is the same thing, basically, just to remove the new car animation. So if you're buying one car at a time, it still needs to be skippable. In fact, on that note, also get rid of those paint chips. Let us be able to paint our cars whatever color we want at any time. Alright, next up is no more standard cards. As I was saying, in GT7 do not let me see it unless PS4 standard cars looks like PS3's premium ones. Then that might be a bit acceptable. Okay. On that same note, like I was saying, if you have to reduce the amount of cars GT7 has, please do that. Okay, next up is customization, and this is somewhere where Gran Turismo needs to catch up to Forza. Forza is smacking you left, right and center in terms of customization. So Polyphony, please step up in the customization department. And I have seen that GT6 is trying to work on that. You've got more rims, body kits, spoilers and whatever to pick from in GT6. But like I said, you need to step up more. Alright, we need more. Next up is audio. Now, I'm not the fussiest guy when it comes to Gran Turismo's audio. To be honest, I'm too involved and indulged in the car handling, the background music, the opponents, to even care about what I'm hearing. But if you really want to liven up your game, please do improve the audio. I've not been one to complain about the engines and the tire screeching, but yes, a more lively game would be appreciated. And I know that Polyphony do record the real cars with real microphones and etc, etc. But maybe that's not always the best path to take. At least maybe you could edit the audio, enhance it. Because I will agree that some cars do sound like vacuum cleaners when they shouldn't. Sorry if my words are slurring in this video or I'm stuttering. I have quite a blocked nose because of hay fever. Anyways, next up is choice in dealerships. What do I mean by that? Basically, I mean... Wait, what do I mean by that? Yeah, I remember. I mean being able to not just go to, let's say, you want to buy a new Audi S5, brand new from the dealership. In GT5, you will be able to pick the color of the car, but why should it stop there? Being able to pick the color of the interior, the wheel type, the color of the wheels, all those details, maybe even the engine options, exhaust type, all of that stuff, that would make the car feel more like yours. Because in real life, if I was to buy a Lamborghini right now, I wish, if I was to try and buy a Lamborghini right now, best believe I better be able to pick my interior color, wheel type, all of that stuff, because this car is mine and I'm paying money for it. So yes, that would really bump up the feeling of being in the dealership. And I honestly think being able to do that for each new car you buy would make you appreciate the car more. I mean, Gran Turismo is that franchise that praises cars, loves to brag about we are all for the cars, so why not have that detail? Okay, next up is paint stock rims. Now, I'm sure you've looked at a car and looked at its stock rims and thought, wow, I do not want to change those rims. Those rims are just perfect. They're fantastic. But for some reason, you're not able to paint them in games nowadays. I don't know why. Games have had this logic where, okay, you've got stock rims, nice, but you're not able to paint them. What is that about? You're telling me if I had my little Ford Fiesta and I drove it to a garage, I wouldn't be able to paint them because they're stock? I would tell that garage, fuck you. So, being able to paint stock rims is an option I want to see in games, not just GT5, in games nowadays. Not just Gran Turismo 7, in all racing games nowadays. Flip sick. Alright, yeah, so Midnight Club, I know it's done that. Need for Speed has done that definitely. GTA 5 has done that, and last but not least, Gran Turismo says you can't paint stock rims for some reason. Get rid of this stupid logic. Let us paint stock rims. Thank you very much. Next up is all Gran Turismo tracks. All of them. I want to see everything that's ever existed. Yes, please. That also includes the fictional ones, such as Trial Mountain, what's the other one called? Apricot Hill, am I naming that right? All of them, I just want to see them. Because those tracks are some of my favourites. Gran Turismo 2, I remember them clearly. Just took me away, man. I love those tracks. So yeah, put them in please. And last but not least is a track creator. Now GT5 did have some sort of track creator, but it was not in depth, if you ask me. You couldn't even see what you were doing. The type of track creator I want to see is something similar to Mod Nation races, where you can see what you're doing, see the corners you're creating, how sharp they are. Create these long downhill straights, these sweeping bends with banks, and just give us a 3D visual track creator. Because in GT5 you had this kind of system where you could play with the knobs on each corner, create the thinness of the straight, all that stuff. That was not good enough basically, and you weren't able to see what you're doing until you tested the track. So that's my list. In GT7 these features are there. I will be honestly happy. I mean, tell me if you agree. Aren't they quite in-depth features? I would love to see these features. And I think that's about it. Gran Turismo 7, I can't wait to see it. Oh, for flip's sake. Alright, let me end this video because it's getting a bit too much. As you can hear, I have hay fever. That's also one of the reasons there's not been much videos. I've also been quite busy, but I do plan to release quite a bit of content. E3's coming up. Looking forward to that. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to cover that properly or as much as I'd like to, but I will be watching. I will be looking forward to it. E3 this year. Hopefully it's a great one.